Hi, speaker friends. Are you tired of showing up to your conferences and your speaking events underdressed? And are you ready to look like the authority figure you already are and build credibility with your audience? And does it pique your interest when I say that you can authentically stand out on stage and online when you build and wear an on-brand wardrobe? If so, I'm inviting you to my Styled to Speak workshop on November 7th at 7 p.m. Here you will learn the impact of dressing on stage authoritatively, authentically, and brand aligned. To receive an invite to my free workshop, go to bit.ly/Styled to Speak workshop. When you attend this workshop, you will receive a free Styled to Speak outfit guide as well. So I hope you'll join me, and I look forward to seeing you there. Hello there, Styled to Speak listeners. I have a big question for you. Does your brand aesthetic really matter? Well, the talented Marissa Hitt was not even 5 years old when she noticed how images we observe evoke emotion, connection, and can even be used to give glory to God. By the age of 5, Marissa had skillfully crafted several art pieces that were showcased in several local art galleries. Her inspiration? The hope-evoking subject of nature, utilizing soft, bright color schemes. And guess what, speaker friends? She's carried her signature aesthetic into her brand-aligned wardrobe too. And today, Marissa is sharing how creating a cohesive aesthetic in her business and wardrobe helps her to authentically be her brand. Marissa Hitt began creating as soon as she could pick up a paintbrush, which led to showing artwork in galleries at the age of 5. At her first art showing, Marissa wore a colorful floral dress that she picked out herself. 5-year-old Marissa had one of her first public speaking experiences when she joyfully welcomed her guests at that art exhibition. In addition to being one of the youngest artists in her area, Marissa began competing in scholarship pageants, which required speaking on many stages and going into many interviews. In high school, Marissa began her second lifestyle art business, Mullane & Co. Through Mullane & Co., Marissa creates watercolor, pet paintings, home decor, and stationery. Mullane is Marissa's middle name, which she shares with her mother, Terry Hitt. Marissa approaches her business, public speaking, and sense of style with the same excitement as her 5-year-old self. Marissa is honored to share her journey and why she believes each one of us is an artist. So Marissa, I just really appreciate you being on here. Hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for letting me come on to your podcast and speak to your wonderful listeners.
Oh, they're going to, seriously, they're going to love you. So my first question for you is actually around the testimony that you gave about really where you started your business. See, Marissa and I actually, we met at a conference that we attended. It was what was it called? Joyful Business Live, Judy Weber's conference. And we just clicked. She was so adorable. We both love fashion. We both love the aesthetic side of, art. So tell us what your inspiration for using your signature aesthetic of like your soft brights, how you came up with that, and how did you come up with creating a business that memorializes a person's cherished pet through art? That was fun.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for that question. Yes. So I love joyful things. I love joyful keepsakes. And I also love things that are timeless. So when I'm curating my wardrobe, I want pieces that I can mix and match with other pieces, but also things that I'm just going to enjoy wearing. I'm a very feminine person. I love bright colors, but I also love darker colors as well because I know as someone who has dark hair myself, dark colors look pretty good. And so I just want to evoke that joy and that femininity and that sophistication, but also that approachability within my wardrobe. And I know your speakers do too. And that's one of the things that I have really capitalized on is that curating a wardrobe that evokes more than just a wardrobe or like, oh, she has good taste, but a lifestyle whenever you're speaking, whenever you're pitching an offer, you are creating a lifestyle not only for yourself, but for your consumers and your customers and your clients.
Oh, absolutely. And you definitely embody that. So I feel like the classic like aspect of your wardrobe really like ties in with what you're talking about. Some of the like blacks or really deep mocha browns that I've seen you bring in as well. So when I say her aesthetic is kind of those soft brights, I mean if you look at her artwork, you guys, it's just stunningly beautiful and it's so relaxing and happy and joyful and but she also in her style incorporates, because she's a human being, right? There's a lot more to her than just that side. She's very sophisticated. You can tell she's very well spoken and elegant. And the way that she dresses, really, she has aspects of that in there. And so when it comes to your being an artist, okay, and speaking of that aesthetic, and you kind of talked a little bit about when you're either on stage speaking, if you are talking to a client, or even for yourself, it would be you're selling your artwork, um,
Mhm.
or doing something in that realm. Why is it important to you that when you're at an art gallery, for example, or maybe you're somewhere where you are selling your art, wherever that may be, why is it important to you to have a look that is aesthetically aligned with your brand?
Mhm. Well, one of the things that we really tapped into at the Joyful Business Live conference is when you are presenting yourself, you are presenting a personal brand. And of course, your personal brand can tie into your business, but really your personal brand and of that, who is the artist? Who is the face behind the company? Who is the face behind this advice that we're hearing from the speaker? That's what people love to know. And so when you present yourself and have a wardrobe that is aligned with your personal brand and your lifestyle, that is what is just so important to me. And I know it is important to your listeners as well. And so the importance of that is really just attracting more clients, attracting, even just making those connections and showcasing a lifestyle of what you want to evoke and providing that for others, and just kind of giving them a taste like this is what I stand for. And you can just say that in an outfit. It doesn't even have to have words. It's that first 3 second, split appearance when they first see you. And that's what is so amazing about fashion to me.
Oh, absolutely. And I do feel like when I think of your brand, when I think of your website, when I think of your art, and then I picture you, I mean, it's so cohesive. It's like it's a story. Like I've talked about, one of the questions I say in my podcast is, have you discovered your style story yet? Because everything you do tells a story about who you are and who you serve, right?
Hmm.
Um, okay, so that kind of goes well with does how does showing up in a way that's authentic, right? That is really showing people who you are in your style, using your wardrobe, keeping your brand in mind. Like how specifically has that helped you to connect with people who are purchasing your products, or even following you on Instagram? Like maybe what comments have been made, or any specific, like, what would you say? Like, yeah, just yeah, comments around who you are and your brand.
Yes. It goes back to that personal branding. And I especially get comments on, oh my goodness, your dresses are always so pretty. Your outfits are always so pretty. And one of the things that I've been incorporating into my content is having my outfits be a part of the pet painting process. And so maybe I'll show a pet painting with my outfit, or I've done a couple or so videos, or at least one, and then published it on a couple of different platforms of that. This is me coordinating with my pet painting. And it's really fun because I usually do. I love neutrals, and a lot of, pets are have neutral coloring, beautiful neutral coloring. And I'm able to incorporate that lifestyle of this is more than just a pet painting. It is a joyful keepsake that you get to have, and it becomes a part of your lifestyle because our pets and the artwork we surround ourselves with, whether it be home decor, stationery, which is also a couple of other things that Mulaney& Co. has as well, it becomes a part of our lifestyle and what we see and what we dress ourselves with, what we surround ourselves with influences the lifestyle that we project and how we live.
Yes. And I also think that I don't know if you're necessarily doing this like mindfully, if it's like to the top of your mind, but I'm sure you see it when you're looking at the picture. So I've talked about like even this. So behind me is my basically core speaking wardrobe. It really only requires like 15 pieces, but you can see how the colors are actually harmonizing with me.
Mhm.
I'm not popping off of it. It's all kind of blending in a way. And so, what's so beautiful about what you're talking about is whether you're in front of your clients or if you're taking a picture for your social media to promote your products, when you are cohesively dressed, it's going to help that actually stand out. It's going to help your product stand out. Everything is going to feel cohesive. Nothing's going to feel like it's popping off in a weird way or that something's off. So I think it's just beautiful that naturally you have that eye and you're doing that, which doesn't surprise me because you are a really great artist. From the speaking end of it, I was really excited when you were saying that you've participated in scholarship pageants and you've been doing that from a young age. So, you're currently, are you 19, Marissa?
I just turned 20.
20. Okay. So you're 20. And when did you first start speaking publicly doing those scholarship pageants?
Through the scholarship pageants, one of my first scholarship pageants was National American Miss, and I competed in state at 7 years old, and I also went on to national.
That's amazing. So, since 7 years old, you've really been practicing like again that public speaking and engaging with an audience and connecting and again doing it in a way where you're actually have an outfit to coordinate. Like that's actually huge. So for anyone who is not aware of the process when you are doing those kinds of scholarship programs. So I did the Miss America program. I was in Miss South Dakota. I did not go to Miss America, but I I did go to the state pageant, which was super fun. But yes, for those of you who maybe haven't participated, speaking well and being dressed well is very important. And it's very important to actually dress in a way that makes you stand out. Okay. Not like you're flashy and trying so hard, but that's authentic to you. So that's just beautiful that you have that experience. So, like, keeping that in mind, like that context, Marissa, tell my audience how you've used your experience public speaking in that manner on stage to curate outfits that enhance your overall message.
Yes, I love this question. Well, for my first pageant, I designed several of my outfits. And it was very, very fun because I got to sketch them out and then I picked out fabrics. I went to the fabric store, back when things, I guess, weren't as much online. I went to the fabric store and we would go to fabric store after fabric store. I mean, I remember it felt like we spent hours in fabric stores, but I enjoyed it. And it was just so neat because I got to pick out kind of, basically curate this brand for myself in pageantry. And one of the things that I was known for in pageants was designing my outfits. And it was a great conversation starter too, because I would talk with the judges and I would say, yes, I designed this interview outfit that I'm currently wearing. Or when I was walking on stage, the MC would say, oh, this is Marissa Hitt, and she designed her outfit. And again, it kind of goes back to that creating that lifestyle and creating a good talking point because
Mhm.
truly your outfit can be a wonderful talking point as a speaker. When someone compliments your outfit, maybe you don't design it, but maybe you say, oh, thank you so much. These are my brand colors. Or these are some colors that I love incorporating into my brand. And that kind of gives a way for you to say, oh, yes, would you like to hear more about my brand? If they seem interested. And
Right.
outfits are a wonderful talking point. And so,
Oh,
yes,
and I love that because especially with women, I think it's okay for us to admit that we all think it's fun. Like when we are wearing something that we feel good in, how much fun do we have putting it on? Like how much fun
mhm,
do we have wearing a great outfit? And I think it's something that has become a little bit it can be taboo, right? Because if we're too focused on how we look, then that's its own problem. But when we're doing it for the purpose, right, to glorify God, to bring attention to our business. And one thing that I haven't really quite said yet, but I'll say now is as Christian women, we are supposed to seek attention. But we're not supposed to seek attention for ourselves. We're supposed to seek attention for the Lord so that we can point
mhm.
others to Jesus. And I'm not saying our outfits are directly doing that, but like you said, it is a very like low key, easy way to start a conversation with another woman. You can talk about your brand colors. You can talk about, hey, this is the business that I do. And guess why I do it? I do it because I want to glorify the Lord, you know? And this is how I glorify the Lord in my business. And that brings me to my last question because I know we're running out of time. How do you in your business glorify the Lord's calling in your life in the way that you dress and in the way that you present your brand aesthetic?
You, yes. Well, through Mullane & Co., I create joyful pet paintings, home decor, and stationery. And joyful is one of those words where it explains so much to me. And what joyful means to me is just the Lord's joy, the kind of joy that He gives, the joy that isn't what the world teaches, but what the Lord teaches. And so through that, I want to have outfits that bring Him joy and that bring others joy in a way that is sophisticated, that is feminine. I mean, those are a couple of words to describe my outfits, and ways that are glorifying to Him. And because everyone has a different style, they can incorporate their style, but they can always have it be for the glory of God. And especially being Christian business owners and speakers, we know how important that is. And so, yes, that is how I incorporate that lifestyle, because it's not just, fashion, it's a lifestyle that you're promoting. And I thank you so much for having me on the podcast and for letting me speak with your listeners. And I thank you, listeners, for tuning in.
Yes, I agree. I second that. And I just want to say, like you said, the joy that you have, that you are really bringing into your brand and your lifestyle and your way of being is all anchored in the joy that comes from knowing the Lord and having that relationship with him. So I really love that, and that's what I picked up when I met you. Is I picked up that you have that joy and you have that peace and you have that, again, not that nothing goes wrong or that you are never like a person who experiences sadness or other things, like life is life, but I definitely can see that you're you're doing what the Lord asked us to do, which is you are using the relationship you have with him to continue to be joyful. And I just love that. So thank you so much. And we hope to have you back on Style to Speak sometime soon.
Thank you so much. And if your listeners would like to find me, Instagram is Marissa Mullane, which is Melane and Hitt. And you can find all of my work on Mullane & Co. And you can find that on MullaneandCo.com. That's ANDCO. And yes, all of our handles are Mullane & Co as well.
And I highly recommend going and checking that out, especially if you are a pet person. She does really great work. That's probably some of my personal favorites. I'm biased. I love the
Thank
pet
you
paintings
so
that you
much.
do.
Well,
Yes.
thank you. Well, I encourage listeners to keep tuning in to the Style to Speak podcast and to subscribe if they have not already.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, speaker friends. I hope that you enjoyed the video that you just watched. Would you help me out and give me a thumbs up, press subscribe. That's going to help me to continue to put out content to help you build an on-brand wardrobe while also shining authentically for Christ through building your testimony and sharing it with others, especially your audience, so that you can connect them not only to yourself, because we are meant to be in community, but also to the one that matters, our Lord Jesus.